Everyone, today we're going to talk about the measures of dispersion. So, unsa man na ang dispersion? It means the spreadness of the data. So, kakatagon ni siya sa data. Nay ubang data na duol siya sa mean. So, kani siyang dako na circle. This is the mean, for example. And then, ang small na dots, that is the raw data. So, nagpundok siya. Napoy ubang data, lagyo. So, mo ni mean and then mao ni siya ang mga data nato. So, you can see that dispersion means it is the spreadness or kakatagon sa data against a certain variable. So, today we're going to talk about three measures of dispersion: the range, the standard deviation, and the variance. Let's start with the range. Range is solved using the lowest score and the highest score. How to solve it is to subtract the lowest score from the highest score. For example, we're going to compute the range here. The lowest score is 2 and the highest score is 15. So to solve for the range, that would be 15 minus 2. So the range is 13. Okay, so that's it. Next is this one, another example. So the highest score here is 82 and the lowest score is 50. So we're going to subtract 50 from 82. So your range now is 32. So that's how we solve for the range. So inganaw na siya, guys. Next is standard deviation. Standard deviation is defined as the quantity calculated to indicate the extent of deviation for a group as a whole. So this is an example, or this is a normal curve. And then, ang standard deviation is the movement above and below sa zero. So, ni-deviate siya sa zero. So, pwede siya padumbabaw. Ari siya sa 1. So, above 0, those are positive values. And below zeros are the negative values. So this is the formula for the standard deviation. We have first the population and then the second one is for the sample. So ang naguna kay mo ni siyang sigma equals square root of summation of x minus mu quantity squared over n. So ang x here kay mao na siya ang ato ang row score or row data. I-minus na nato siya sa population mean mo ni siyang si mu. Ang answer dayon ana niya kaya to siyang e squared all over n. So the n stands for the total population. The second one is the sample standard deviation. Atong symbol gigamit sa sample is s. And then square root of summation of x minus x bar quantity squared. So ang x diri is the raw data minus the mean. Yang answer nato siyang squared all over n minus 1. So, n stands for the sample population. So, ang kalainan nilang duha class is ang denominator niya. Ang sa population is n siya, but ang sa sample is n minus 1. So, this is the procedure for computing a standard deviation. You can pause this part and then you can screenshot. I will just explain how to solve it in the next part. Okay, find the standard deviation. We have the number obtained from sampling a population. These are the data 2, 4, 7, 12, 15. Okay, so first we're going to solve is the mean. Okay, to solve for the mean, sa atong previous na discussion, igura nato siya i-add ang 2, 4, plus 7, plus 12, plus 15 all over the number population. So, 2, 4, 5. 5 siya ka. Sample size. Okay, so x bar or the mean is equals to 40 over 5. So, our mean here is 8. So, this is now the mean. That is this first step. Second is to make this table. I already placed a table here for this is the row score. And this is the x, the row score minus the mean. That's why we compute atong giunag compute ang mean diri para dali na lang nato siya ma-compute diri sa ikaduhang column. So we're going to write first sa first column ang atong row data. So 2, 4, 7, 12, and 15. Next is to subtract. So 2 minus ang x is mao ni siya. And then the mean is mao ni siya. So 2 minus 8, that would be negative 6. Next, we have 4 minus 8. We have negative 4. 7 minus 8 equals negative 1. 12 minus 8, it equals to 4. And lastly, we have 15 minus 8 equals 7. Okay, the next step is to square the answers in our second column. So, kani mga answers niya kanang gipang underlinean. Ato na siyang i-squared. So, negative 6 squared, that is equals to 36. So, dili ta mag-worry class, dili ta mag-worry naman negative atong answer sa second column kay square tanang answer diri sa third column are positive numbers. So, negative 4 squared, that is 16. Ako na lang ilahos dayon ang next part. So, negative 1 squared is 1, 4 squared is 16, and 7 squared is 49. If you remember the formula class, we are going to use the sample because sample raman siya na data. So, ang formula sa sample is S equals square root of summation of x minus x mean quantity squared over n minus 1. So, kakita mo diri sa numerator class, x minus x bar niya, quantity squared, pariha ra siya dinhi sa third column. So, na-solve na ni nato siya. So, atong buhaton ani is summation, meaning i-add nato tanan, ikan sa babaw pa dong ubos. So, this would be the summation of x minus x mean quantity squared. So we're going to total everything and the answer is 118. And for your n minus 1 class, aturang i-minus ang number of population, sample population, ang 5. So minusan na nato siya 1. That will give us 4. So kung ato na ni siyang sulbon, ato rang i-substitute ang value ani sa babaw, kani, ani niya na value. Summation sa third column. So that would be square root of 118 over ang n minus 1, mo naman yung answer 4 over 4. So that would be s square root of 118 divided by 4, that will give us 29.5. And then square root of that is 5.43. So, ato siyang i-round off to 2 decimal places. So, this would be our standard deviation. Lastly, class, we're going to talk about the variance. So, variance for a given set of data is the square of the standard deviation of the data. So, mao ni siya ang formula sa variance. Pariha siya formula sa standard deviation. Unsay kalainan niya? Kabantay mo, guys, na wala na diri ang square root na symbol, pero naa diri ang squared sa imuhang sigma. So, it means that ang ikuha ra nimo ang square root diri nya gibalik na diri sa iyahang sigma. Likewise, ang sa sample variance is squared na wagtang ang square root. So ang kalainan ra sa duha is ang ubos, ang sa population n, ang sa sample population is n minus 1. So ang kaning mu mean manggihapon na siya nya kani x mean, lain-lain lang siya og symbol. So if hatagan kag standard deviation, like nakay standard deviation na 5.43, what is the variance? So ang variance kay igura siya nato squared. So to solve for the variance, this would be sample lang. Sample standard deviation. Okay, so for the variance is ato ra siyang squared. So squared na siya nato. So s squared, this would give us 29.48. So that's your variance. If we go back class to solving Katie and Mike, makita nato ang variance diri na side. Kani ako ang gi-box. Okay, kana akong gi-box. Mo na iyahang variance na dili nato isolve ang iyahang square root ana. Likewise, ka Mike pod, mo ni siya ang 681.30. So, wala na to siya gi-solve ang square root. That would be the variance. So, ato ko nung isolve. So, 26.10 man ni siya. 26.10. So, atong isolve ang iyahang variance. So, ang standard deviation is 26.10. So, squared na nato siya. So, that will give us 26.10 squared is 681.21. So that would be our variance. That would be all, guys, and thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something today. Have a great day.